How's my beautiful wife?
Hey, honey. I'm doing well. Just starting to feel uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable? What's wrong?
I'm almost 6 months pregnant. Feels like I'm gonna pitch forward when I try to stand up.
Oh, I wish I could catch you. Unfortunately, I have to make a stop before coming home.
I'm not actually going to pitch forward. It's just a very different center of gravity with my belly starting to stick out so far. Why do you need to stop?
My mom asked for help with her toilet. Apparently, it's having trouble.
So you're going to miss the appointment?
Yeah, sorry.
You haven't been to an appointment since the second one. And it's always your mom who needs you. Can't you fix the problem tomorrow? Do you really have to do it today?
I would feel horrible if it overflowed or something. I mean, I can fix it.
So it's gone from being fine to needing immediate attention that quickly?
That's why she asked me to come over.
Did you tell her about the appointment before or after she asked you to come over?
I told her about the appointment first, but that's not why she asked for my help.
Really? Because she could just call someone to fix it? You aren't a plumber. And if I recall, the last time you tried to do anything with our toilet, we had to move in with your mother, because you nearly ruined the flooring in the bathroom.
Stop keeping score. I don't bring up the things that you do wrong.
You don't have to because your mother does it for you.
And I've told her to stop.
You know that she hasn't.
That's not my fault.
Ugh, you know what? Go to your mother's. I can take care of myself.
Oh, now you're gonna pitch a fit? It's so typical of you. I have to miss one appointment and you go all drama queen.
You have missed almost 24 appointments, including one where You know, it's fine. But you'd better add a notch to your punch card because you just brought up the past.
Stop picking a fight. I was just trying to check on you.
No, you were just trying to act sweet before breaking your promise to be there this time. You go ahead and spend time with your mother. I'll handle myself and the baby.
Maybe I should just stay with Mom tonight if you're gonna be like that.
Yeah, I think you should.
Wow, okay. I think I will.
Good. How dare you talk to my boy like that? He's just coming to help his mother. You're so heartless to think that you're more important than his own mother. Right, because his pregnant wife clearly comes after his conniving, manipulative mother. I'm gonna show him what you said about me. That's fine. It's not anything I haven't said to him directly. You talk like that about me behind my back? Not just behind your back. I have no problem saying it to your face. You really are a worthless, horrible girl. I'll never know what my son saw in you. Have fun with him tonight.
What do you mean?
He threatened to stay with you tonight. As far as I'm concerned, he can stay with you for several nights. After all, I have another appointment and a birthing class this week. So you're just gonna wedge yourself into things. I'll just save you both time and say that he should just stay with you. He didn't tell me about the appointments. I guess he's still trying to hide things from me. We'll need to talk when he gets here. You do that. Have a good night. I don't need you telling me what to do. But I will have a great night, keeping my baby boy close by.
I'm coming home today.
Oh, good. You missed all of the appointments, so there really isn't much for you to do.
Look, I'm really sorry. I should have at least made it to one of the appointments. Or at least the class.
My next class is next week. I can send you the date and time in case you need it.
I think I have it.
We're meeting Wednesday at 6. I can bring you dinner if you make it.
Oh, now that sounds like a bribe. One I will happily take.
Okay, it won't be anything fancy.
Oh, that's okay. Just getting to be around you again is enough.
Had a hard time with your mother?
Please don't start again. You know how my mother is. Just feel smug because you know I'll be happy to be home tonight.
That's not exactly what I feel. I just want you to realize that your mother is coming between us. But I'm not gonna go into that now. Just come home and I'll have a nice make-up meal ready.
I thought you hated cooking after work.
I didn't go into work today.
What? Why did you take a day off?
I was sick today.
Why didn't you call me?
I've been dealing with it since you've been off with your mother.
I would have come home if I had known you were sick.
You would have upset me more by being here because... You know what? I'm not talking about this now. If you'd been at the doctor's appointment, you would have known. So I'm not going to feel guilty or argue about it with you. Either you start showing up, or don't be surprised when I don't bother to contact you when something is wrong.
You don't have anyone else here. Stop being prideful and just let me know when you need me.
Considering you've skipped out on the appointments for months, after I've asked you to come multiple times, I don't really see this as me being proud. More like being sick of asking for support repeatedly and having you run off to your mother's.
That's not fair.
You know what? Don't bother coming home. I don't really want you here because your apology clearly wasn't sincere.
Don't do that. I'm sorry, but you're making me rethink whether returning is a good idea.
It's not. Stay with your mother.
Oh, don't be like that. Come on, Cassie, you're being so difficult. Come on, please don't be like this. You never used to be like this. I know you don't have anyone else here. You need to learn to rely on me. Fine, I'll give you more time on your own since you're being so difficult. Thank you for hosting my family for the day. I know my niece loves looking at your work. It means a lot that you let us have her birthday party at our place.
Well, she's a sweet kid, and I know that her brother and his wife aren't the best parents. Every kid deserves a great 10th birthday. It's a big one. The first double digits.
See, you really get her. I'm sorry that you got stuck with all of the cooking. It's not causing you too much trouble, is it?
No, your brother's actually taking care of most of it. I showed him the grill, and he took it like a fish to water.
Really? Thought he hated cooking.
Not grilling, apparently. But I still need to go make my food. I think everyone else should be good.
Do you want me to stay after the party's over?
Let's get through the party, then we can talk.
Okay, I understand. Well, I'm glad you seem to be doing well. I mean, it's obvious you haven't missed any meals.
What?
Your face and hips, they're wider. And it's clear that you've been eating well.
I'm gonna go make my meal. Go insult someone else.
Insult? What are you talking about? I was just pointing out that you're clearly gaining weight. Are you really going to ignore me now?
What did you do to my son? Answer me right now, or so help me, I'll see about getting your green card revoked. Old woman, you realize that I only stayed here because your son begged me? Old woman, how dare you? I'm only 53 years old. You're right, let's not pretend your age excuses the way you treat me. Go back to doting on your family and leave me alone. You will not talk to me like that. You're in my home, and you're picking a fight with me. I've done nothing to your son besides pointing out that he's never on my side. He shouldn't have to constantly prove himself to you. He married you. You got your green card. You should be groveling before him. He's the only reason you're in this country. Without my son, you'd be back in your backwater country wishing for somewhere half as nice as our country. I'd be more than happy to return to my country and family. They treat me so much better than you and most of your family. I'll teach you how to act. Are you threatening me? Because I'm perfectly happy leaving the party and finding my own place. That is it. You're gonna learn your place.
Tony just said you punched my mother. Is that true?
Yes, it is. Your bitch of a mother slapped my stomach. My heavily pregnant stomach. I just reacted to protect me and the baby.
I can't believe you'd do that. I'm gonna get my mother to the hospital. When I get back, I want you out of my house.
Are you serious? You're kicking me out of the house after being assaulted by your mother?
My mother is older. You could have seriously hurt her. I will not let this stand. Get out of my house.
Fine. I'll go pack now. You can deal with the party.
Alright, I'm so angry at you I forgot about that. You need to finish taking care of my family while I take my mother to get checked out. When the party's over, I want you out.
You don't have to worry about a thing. Don't bother contacting me again.
I'm not gonna listen to your threats. You will get out of my house, and I'll let you know when I want to talk to you again.
Do what you want to do, Travis. I'll certainly do what I need to do.
You will do what I tell you to do. I'm heading out. I want you gone before I return.
I told you that things weren't gonna go your way. You really should have listened before messing with my family. You were never good enough for my son. Now he knows what a violent horror you are, punching an old woman. Didn't you say earlier today that you aren't old?
That's not how people will see it. You're a young woman who punched a poor old woman. I hope you get thrown in prison. Then I'll get my boy to dump you. We'll take care of our baby, and you'll be deported to whatever backward, uncivilized nation where you came from.
I wouldn't say that New Zealand is backward or uncivilized, but trying to talk sense to you is like trying to carry water in a bucket with no bottom.
There is something wrong with you. You don't make any sense.
No, you have no sense, so you don't understand anything. I hope you and your son can live very happily together. Can't say that I'm gonna actually miss either of you or these little fights that we have.
Good riddance to bad rubbish. I'll see you after my son is done fawning over me because I will be calling the police for assault.
You do that. And just so you know, I did install cameras in the home while Travis was with you.
What? Why would you do that?
I was living alone, and as a pregnant woman, I wanted to be able to make sure the house was safe. Have fun at the hospital.
We're turning around to get that footage. You'll not use that against me. Cassie, you answer me right now. Where are you? You were supposed to see the party to the end.
I sent everyone home after you left. The party was over after the scene with your mother. No one was really in the mood to party anymore.
Did you really put up cameras in the house?
Don't worry about it.
No, seriously, did you? Because I didn't say you could.
I didn't need your permission because it's my house too.
You aren't a citizen, so you can't go surveilling my house.
Did I fail to notice how exhausting you are? Man, I feel like such an idiot.
You've been an idiot, but I don't think that our relationship is unsalvageable. If you give me the footage, I'll take care of it. Then we will need to talk about boundaries.
No thanks.
What do you mean, no thanks? I'm telling you to come back and give me the footage of my home.
Sorry, but it's in evidence. I doubt the police would let me take it now.
The police? Why would the police have it?
Because I'm planning on pressing charges against your mother.
What? Why?
She slapped my stomach. You know, the place where my baby is currently growing?
Oh, she actually hit your stomach?
Yeah, but I already told you that. You chose to ignore it.
My mother wouldn't do that.
This isn't a she said, Travis. It's on film. And at least one member of your family saw it. I'm pressing charges, and there is nothing you can do to stop me.
We need to talk about this first. You can't just make a decision like that and expect me to put up with it.
My expectations for you are so low that I would say that I have greater expectations for a rock. Because at least a rock doesn't just up and leave me for the cracked boulder it broke from.
What are you even talking about?
Don't worry, I don't expect you to understand anything.
Hey, I have a degree, just like you. Remember we met at college.
Oh, I can't forget since that's where we met. It's just proof that even someone like me was once young and dumb.
What are you trying to say?
Don't worry about it. Explaining it to you would be a waste of my time. You'll be hearing from my lawyer when I get the rest sorted.
Your lawyer? What lawyer? How can you get a lawyer if you aren't a citizen? Clearly you don't understand how the law works. Cassie? What does all of that mean?
Hi, Travis. What does all of what mean?
I just had someone drop off a bunch of papers. They said that my mother and I have been served.
I guess you bailed your mother out of jail.
Of course I did. Are you so heartless that you would leave your mother in jail? Yeah, you probably are.
My mother isn't so horrible that she would hit a pregnant woman in the stomach. The fact that you're protecting her instead of my baby says everything that needs to be said. So you take care of your mother, and I'll take care of everything else.
I don't even know what you mean by that. It looks like there are divorce papers in here. Can you even get that done so quickly?
They were able to make a special case for me considering this situation.
Considering what situation?
Basically, I was able to show abandonment in addition to your mother's violent nature.
My mother's what? She's the sweetest person in the world.
She was caught on camera, and it looks worse than I remember it. She's a piece of work, and you won't do anything to stop her from being horrible.
My mother isn't horrible. Stop talking about her like that.
You can pay for her lawyer, but I dare say that is an uphill battle. It will make it harder to pay for your own lawyer in the divorce.
Why are you doing this to me? Why should I have to choose between you two? Be an adult and talk things out with me.
I've tried for long enough. From now on, I'm gonna let my lawyer do all of the talking.
But it's not fair. I can't afford to pay for two different legal actions. You absolutely cannot do this to your husband.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? One of those legal actions will free me, and you will no longer be my husband. Of course, you would try to talk or deal with the legal aspect with me.
That would leave my mother to fight the charges on her own. I can't do that to my mother.
Did you notice that?
Notice what?
None of your siblings are gonna help your mother. Do you know why that is?
Because they're ingrates who never really cared about Mom.
Or because they saw what happened, and they know it's a losing battle. The fight is all yours. Because you're the only one who doesn't understand a losing fight. Took me long enough to figure it out, but you had better believe I'll see the signs going forward.
I can't believe how cold and heartless you are. I'll see you in court for my mother.
No, you won't. But glad to see you're still choosing your mother over me. Do remember that going forward. You've always made your side clear. Best of luck, bud. You're really gonna need it.
Hey, Cassie. When is the baby due? Or have you already had it?
It? You're calling my baby it?
Well, you never told me the gender.
You never came to the appointments. You would have known if you had.
Really? You're still gonna talk about that? Seriously, if you've already had my child, I want to meet it.
You really didn't read any of the divorce papers, did you?
I was focused on the case against my mother. Your tantrum was hardly at the top of my priority list.
Since we married, I've not been at the top. Or even on the list sometimes.
Ugh, I don't want to argue, I just want to see my child.
Okay, you come over when you have time.
I don't know where you live.
I went home.
I am at home, and we're divorced, so this isn't your home. And I can see you aren't here.
No, Travis, I've gone home. I'm living with my parents because I needed someone to help me with my baby.
Wait, by home, do you mean New Zealand?
Yeah, home. And I have to say, best decision I've made in a very long time.
I don't have the money to go to New Zealand.
Well, maybe you should have taken time to read the divorce. It was all in there. Don't worry, I'll tell my kid that he's adopted when he gets older.
Adopted? I'm not adopting my own child.
No, I'm engaged to my sweetheart from before I left home. He always treated me well, and he plans to adopt my son.
He can't. That's my child.
Not legally. Remember, you signed the papers. Everything I planned to do was in there. You chose your mother. My son has nothing to do with you unless you want to come see him on your own time.
That's not fair.
Your mother assaulted me, and you kicked me out of your house. Instead of having you and your mother continue to threaten deportation, I just went ahead and left. You can't blame me for doing what's logical. Best of luck to you and your mother.
But I want you back!
The court against his mother's assault happened just a couple of days after I gave birth, so I was able to give my testimony remotely from my parents' house. She was given 5 years for assault on a married woman and a few other charges. I think my ex spent the next few months trying to win and appeal, but I could be wrong. My baby was a few months old by the time he contacted me, so it's probably more likely that he forgot. Once we were married, he really didn't pay much attention to me, so it really doesn't come as a surprise that he didn't realize when my baby was born. His mother kept distracting him, but he also let it happen. Because he spent so much time fighting for his mother, Travis missed a lot of work. They didn't fire him, but he got demoted, and last I heard, he wasn't earning enough to pay for the house. I've told the person who keeps updating me to stop because I really don't care what happens. Whether he still has the house or not is irrelevant to my life. He hasn't reached out since that one time after I had my baby, and that was nearly 5 years ago. I remarried my sweetheart, Jack. He had broken up with me before I left to study abroad, thinking that we would have grown apart. It broke my heart, but I tried to get over it. Travis worked hard to make me think he loved me, but as soon as he married me, it was a constant fight against his mother for his attention, a fight that I did not sign up for. It got so much worse when I got pregnant. When I returned home, Jack picked me up from the airport. By the time he got me to my parents' house, he had admitted that he never stopped loving me. By the end of the week, we were dating. He was with me in the hospital when I had my baby, and before my baby's first birthday, we were engaged, and he was working on the adoption papers. We've told my son that he has another father in terms he can understand, and someday I may introduce him. However, I don't expect that Travis will ever be particularly interested in my son. Jack has been nothing but lovely, and our boy knows that he will always be one of the most important people in our lives. He became a big brother a couple of years ago, and is excited about becoming a big brother again in a few months. He may not be Jack's biological child, but he has definitely taken after Jack when it comes to care and compassion. It's the one thing I'm grateful for Travis. He gave me the sweetest little boy, although I hope that my son will find a woman to love and cherish as much as Jack loves me.